Hey everybody, welcome back live at Drew's House Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you're all doing well out there. It has really gotten hot here, so it is officially, I guess, summertime here in New England. Hope you're all doing well and hope you all have a great summer. But first, we have to put a little bow on the spring season at the high school sports level. We're joined again by the Newburyport Athletic Director, Kyle Hodsdon. And, well, Kyle, you have a lot to talk about. This tournament season was a wild one for you guys. I'll leave the platform to you. Where would you like to start?
Sure. We hosted 11 playoff games. So
wow.
That tells you the success that all of our teams had throughout the spring. Being the higher ranked team, winning and advancing, all had great endings. Either baseball ended up in a one-run loss, walk-off loss, boys lacrosse, overtime, even softball right down to the end, 4-2 loss to Georgetown, who ended up losing the state championship game. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, not Georgetown, Essex Tech. So it just success across the board. Boys tennis, winning a tennis match. Our track teams having their typical great spring. Then of course our girls lacrosse team finished number 2 in the state, advanced to the state championship game, and lost to a really good Medfield team. We played great. They were real good. Yeah. But what a great year they had.
They were great in here. They were fun. Good group of captains.
Yeah, and we had some seniors that, and I think I say it every year to you. Yeah. They were our leaders. They were the reason why we were so successful. But this group, even when they were underclassmen, were leaders, and they're really going to be missed. And I'm sure there are going to be others that will step in. I hope. Yeah. But this group of girls lacrosse seniors are really special. So. They won a state championship as juniors. It would have been nice to send them out with one this year.
This is that class too, so 2024, 2020, this was like the beginning of COVID class, right?
Yes.
So a lot of these kids had to,
this is the COVID class, they're coming into the high school and, very resilient, overcame so many things. Yeah. Probably, in a 4-year span, the accolades that not just girls lacrosse, but everybody across the board in the whole department, the program. Yeah. It's pretty historic.
I remember talking to the lacrosse girls when they were in here, and they said, I think I phrased the question this way, but they go, yes, that is the case. Like, they remembered watching the leaders above them who really, those kids that lost out on proms and lost out on all that stuff that makes senior year fun and all that, in the heart of COVID. And they were like, yeah, I think that did make us better leaders. Like, we saw how great they dealt with that. And, you learn. Captains learn from other captains. You learn how to be a captain by watching other captains. And I thought that was interesting. Like, they just watched how much grace they did that with.
Yeah, that's being a captain leader, and also we saw it with our student section, with our student leaders in the school. So there's been some great modeling the last couple of years. And I just saw a post recently about our student section leaders had passed the baton to next year's student leaders.
It is a cool thing, yeah.
It is, and that's why I need to have a conversation with next year's leaders and make sure we're supporting each other.
It is funny because, like, as somebody who's, I've called, hockey games in there and stuff, and it's sometimes I'll go down and try to get some fun videos for social media or just to give people an idea of what the vibe is in the place. And it's almost somewhat clear who's kind of the person to talk to. It's like, oh, you're probably the leader of this group and the starting chance and everything, which is a lot of pressure that comes with that. You got to be responsible, but yeah, it is funny to see that kind of take an organic shape in a hockey rink or whatever else.
Sure. And then the one team we haven't talked about yet is girls tennis. Yeah. So they had.
I've heard a little bit about this.
Yeah, they great season, regular season, finished second overall again, 2-time defending state champion, and advanced to the state semifinals. In the 2 previous rounds were both 3-2. One was a 5-0 win. One was a 3-2 win. Mm-hmm. And watching the match, it could have gone either way. They were tight, 2-3 set matches. Excellent tennis and a lot of grit from these girls, and so we advanced to the semifinals against Pembroke, the team that we beat last year. So it was a great match, and unfortunately we had an issue at the end that has taken a few years off a lot of our lives here. A few days after that, and unfortunately didn't go our way. and we didn't have the opportunity to advance.
Yeah.
But I can.
Let's explain it, because it's I know it's been out there. It made news all over the states and newspapers and all that. So tell us exactly. It's essentially a 2-2 match. It comes down to one match.
Yeah, sure. And I can speak from my perspective since I was standing right there.
Yeah.
So we're at Sharon High School. It's 2-2.
Yep.
Everybody's done. Bridget Millay is playing the last match, similar to Anna Lynch last year when it was 2-2 to win the state championship. Everybody's watching. The first set, Bridget lost 7-6 in a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So it was as close as it could be.
Yeah.
Second set, Bridget wins 6-4. Again, close, but she, at the end, just pulled away.
Yep.
And so to back up a little bit, this is the first match that we had an official.
Okay.
So the 21 previous matches, coaches are the people that administer the event.
Yep. Is this a chair umpire high above, or?
This is a person who roams the
It's a
five
roamer,
courts.
okay, yeah.
So now this is the only thing happening, so he's at the court.
Yep.
But some of this that I'm going to tell you, I found out after the fact because of the lengthy investigation that we had to go through. The coaches both coaches met with the official prior to the entire match
Yep.
to go over some ground rules. And one of them, this scenario actually came up.
Yep.
If the match has not been decided in the tennis format, the MIA tennis format, then you must play a third set. If the match has been decided, meaning one team has won 3 matches, then you can play a 10-point tiebreaker, because essentially it's
Yep.
not going to change the outcome.
Yep.
And why extend another half hour?
If it's
when the
4-0,
teams
let's just get out of here. It doesn't matter if it's 4-1 or 5-0. Yep. Okay.
And that's the rule that's been played all year.
Yeah.
If it came to a 1-1 tiebreaker, either tiebreak or third set. So the official made the comment, and if we're tied, we're going to go to a 10-point tiebreaker. And both coaches corrected him and said, no, it's a third set.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the official's response was, but assuming like he understood it.
Okay.
So we get to that point, and the official stayed out on the court. The players came over to the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
There was some light discussion going on about what was going to happen.
Yep.
And the official made the comment that we're going to start in 2.5 minutes. So the coaches immediately started talking to that player and coaching them.
Mm-hmm.
At no point was there an agreement from the coaches that said we're going to play a 10-point tiebreaker. They never agreed on that.
Okay. And they're probably thinking they're going to play a third set.
Correct.
Okay.
And in fact, and I don't know who the first server was,
Yep.
but when the first point was won, they announced the score as Love 15. So thinking a set, right?
Yeah.
And the official at that point chimed in and said, no, it's 0-1. That's when it was obvious what was happening.
Oh, okay.
Now, there's a rule in tennis that coaches cannot talk once a match has started.
Oh, geez. So you're like trapped.
So this is the first time where we have an MIAA official
Yeah.
who's been very strict throughout the course of the match, what people can and can't do. So the coaches didn't say anything. I wish I was standing not far from the coaches. I wish I knew, because I would have stepped in
Yeah.
and just time out with the other athletic director to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yep.
So a 10-point tiebreaker doesn't last long. It was 10-7. It was close, basically 17 serves almost.
Yep.
And when it ended, I took a photo of our team embracing Bridget for great effort. I went over and I shook the Pembroke coach's hand. She was fantastic last year and this year, and their athletic director's hand. Wished them good luck. Our assistant coach walked over to me at that point with the format on his iPad, and he just said, I don't think something was followed here correctly. So I looked at it. I called the MIA tournament director, and I said, this is what happened.
Yeah.
He immediately said, are both teams still, he immediately said, you need to play the third set.
Wow.
Are both teams still there? And both teams were still there. I said, yes. He said, go get them. That was it. Now, there was a site director as well. So the photo that I took of Bridget was at 5:28. I'm sorry, it was a 12-minute lapse.
Yeah.
It was 5:33, the photo that I took of Bridget, and then at 5:45 is when my phone called the MIAA tournament director. So only 12 minutes had lapsed in that time. So it wasn't a long period of time. The official did leave.
Yep.
But the official had no role at the end of the game. Bridget and the opponent did shake hands, like they should. Because of the celebration, the teams didn't shake hands.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until after, but that actually comes to play later as well. So the Pembroke coach and myself, I call over our coach, the Pembroke athletic director who had left came back. We had a lengthy discussion with the tournament director via phone and the site director. So we're all talking through scenarios, what's going to happen. It took about 45 minutes for all that to play out.
Yeah.
The Pembroke girls, as you can imagine, were a little bit deflated.
Yeah.
Some had gone on the bus. So our girls, it just wasn't a great setting 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
And I had made the comment like, it's not right to do this now. And the MIAA suggested we play the next day. We play this set the next day. So we're set to go. We picked a time, 2 o'clock. Girls lacrosse championships at 5 in Burlington. Perfect.
Yep.
We all go our separate ways.
Pembroke was going to do this. They were going to play this set. They weren't really arguing too much, or what was
the MIAA told us we had to play this set.
Simple as that. Okay. Yeah.
You have to play the third set.
Yeah.
Everybody's still there. You have to play the third set.
Okay.
We did not protest.
Yeah.
The MIAA, when I told them what happened, they just said, no, you have to play. Okay, we'll play. So, regular night, the next morning, 10:01, I receive a phone call from the MIAA. We're getting set to leave at 11 o'clock. The match is 4 hours later in Sharon. At 10:01, my phone rings. It's the assistant and the executive director, the top 2 people of the MIAA.
Yeah.
Saying that after reflection, they've changed their mind.
Oh, wow.
And reversed their decision and declared Pembroke the winner. So that caught me off guard. So obviously I asked some questions. And they said a few things that contradicted their email that they sent to all of us the night before, 2 athletic directors and the 2 principals from the schools involved. Why we needed to play the match was listed in the email. They took responsibility. It was a rule. They should have followed the rule. Great. And then the next morning they're telling us that since the coaches agreed on it and the players shook hands, that those were 2 reasons that they felt that they could change their decision. And, so then I had to do some investigation and talk to a lot of people.
Players shaking hands is a weird one. I mean, if you're on the court as a competitor and you lose a bet, I mean, you're not really thinking about all this other stuff, like, whatever, that 10 points comes, you're going to shake somebody's hand no matter what, right?
Yeah, you would think. And in a lot of team sports, tennis is a little bit different. A team sport, there's an official handshake. The referees are on the court or on the field.
Yeah.
They witness it. They watch it. The handshake happens. Teams go, officials go. It's a little more formal than this here. So there's some gray area.
Yeah.
So I immediately called our superintendent, Sean Gallagher, explained to him what's happening, and basically said, this is our option. These are our options. And he fully agreed that we need to support our girls' tennis team.
Yep.
Because this was not right how it played out. And we're not taking anything away from Pembroke. It has nothing to do with Pembroke at this time. This is all the MIAA is doing.
Yep.
And the MIAA made some comments to me that I thought were odd. And I found out a day later why they made those comments. So, and I'll go over that in a second. But we got the support from the superintendent. We contacted our legal team for the district and just explained what had happened. And we agreed that we were going to look into filing an injunction to delay the state championship match for Division III until our semifinal match could be completed. So the lawyers drafted a notice and gave it to the MIAA, also informed Pembroke that this was going to be happening. The next morning, Friday morning, this is 2 mornings after, we had a meeting with our school committee, the lawyer, superintendent, myself, principal, and at that point, everybody the mayor was involved, unanimously agreed and approved to go to court to plead our case. So that was at 8:30 on Friday morning. So I headed to Essex Superior Court.
What time is the championship match scheduled for again?
The match was scheduled for Saturday morning at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So this is 8:30 on Friday morning.
All right.
So I went to the court and waited, and then they were going to call our case at 2 o'clock. Met with the lawyer before, and she showed me the affidavit from the MIAA. And at that point is when I realized there was dialogue with the MIAA in Pembroke the night before they reversed the decision. So this is where our biggest issue is.
Yep.
A decision was made based on facts agreed upon by all parties involved at the tennis court in Sharon. Both athletic directors, both coaches, and the site director, the tournament director, and MIAA assistant.
Yeah.
That was determined. What transpired that night did not include Newburyport. It included Pembroke only and the MIAA. The information that was provided by Pembroke to the MIAA in emails from 2 administrators, I would have disputed some of the facts that they claimed in that email. I believe that had we had a say in that conversation the night before, like Pembroke did, we could have clarified the inaccuracies, and I believe that they would not have overturned or reversed their initial decision. The main one being the coaches agreed. The coaches did not agree.
I'm sure you've talked for a long time with your coach about how it all played out, right?
We've talked at length several times, multiple follow-ups. So, we I guess that there's some media at the court, and they've shared our message. It was clear that the judge felt that the Newburyport should have been included at the table to make that decision, or at least to have a voice. Ultimately, the ruling went against us. We knew it was a long shot going in, but we were going to support what we felt was right. And our lawyer anticipated that due to the timing, it was 4:30 on Friday, there were 8 championship games on Saturday. Ours was the first one at 9 o'clock. And the timing didn't work for us. We had requested to play the semifinal match at 8 o'clock. The winner playing the state championship at 9 o'clock. And the MIA denied that. We tried to work out a deal with them in between our sessions with the judge, which the judge suggested that we do to try to come to an agreement.
You're only talking one set here.
We're talking one set.
It's not, you don't have to play a whole match.
So I do want to say that I'm not taking, and I think I said I'm not taking anything away from Pembroke in this case. They did. We did have the same opportunity to win that 10-point tiebreaker. In theory, they did beat us on the court. So we're okay with that part, that they beat us based on the rules that were given at the time, even though they were not the correct rules. We were told to play the correct rules, and then for some reason it was reversed based on information that I could not help with, I could not correct. So that's the issue. And at the end of the day, Pembroke goes. They play Weston in the state championship. They're tied 2-2, 1-1, same exact scenario.
No way.
And we're rooting for Pembroke now. Once this decision came down, it's again, classy coach, great kids, And they did it the correct way. They played a full set,
Yep.
and they won. They beat Weston. So Pembroke won their state championship that they earned.
Yep.
Our girls had 48 hours to process this, to practice a little bit more, to, it wasn't just end of the season and then you go your separate ways.
Yeah.
It was actually a nice way to end a season if you have to.
Yeah.
You're doing it together and you're working through it. Really positive kids, strong kids.
Because they did practice, right? It's business as usual until we figure this court thing out, right?
They continued because, for all they knew, they may have to play Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. So I think they appreciated that they had a lot of support behind them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really about winning and losing. It was about doing what was right. And and when talking with them, they weren't as concerned about winning, our girls.
Yeah.
They wanted the process to come out.
Yeah.
And why did this happen? And hopefully it doesn't happen to anybody else. So it was unfortunate, but we gave it a go. And our girl, Pembroke, we did lose on the court, as I said, and it just the part that's bothersome is that our state association, even though they found loopholes in the handbook to reverse the decision, I'm not sure that they had merit to stand on to change those. So I think it was inaccurate.
Yeah.
And if they would have been transparent and included all of us, if that was the case and they still made this decision, we have a completely different mindset. Because we were at the table. But because we weren't, if we allow the MIA to do this in every case, then as the judge said, then they can just do whatever they want anytime they want, make any decision anytime.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. The girls, it was 48 hours, but it was a long process, and our girls were.
So you get that call that next morning after the, what was it again? So what's the timeline? Friday morning, you get the call saying we changed our minds. That's what morning is that?
Yeah, Wednesday night, we played the match.
Yep.
Thursday morning, so Wednesday night, they tell us together,
Yep.
You're going to play it. Thursday morning at 10:01, we changed our mind.
So when you get that call at 10:01, your whole team is in playoff mode still. They're ready to go. They're going to be practicing, and they're going to. Who has to tell them? This isn't over yet. Is that you? Or?
At 10:01, they're in match mode because they're leaving at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
They're leaving in 1 hour to go to Sharon High School.
So you're on this
to finish this
phone call, knowing you're going to have to pass along some bad information here.
Yes. So I was in that hour. I had talked with many people.
Yep.
Mainly the superintendent. He's saying, yes, let's do what we need to do to support the girls. And the hard part was I had a conference call with the girls on the van as they were getting ready to go.
Oh, wow.
We didn't want to make the decision too soon because we were fighting it. And it was just an hour. And I had talked to the coach, and she knew what was possibly going to happen. And then I had to tell the girls.
Yeah.
And my message to the girls was clear. I was like, this doesn't mean your season's over. We're going to fight for you. And, I would recommend that you go practice and get ready to play because we don't know when we're going to play. Mm-hmm. We do know that we're not playing in 4 hours at 2 o'clock today.
Okay.
That has been postponed. So the girls went at 11 o'clock to Atkinson Courts and practiced.
Wow.
So they're in their uniforms, and so it was just a great attitude that they had.
Yeah.
They were going to be ready to play, and unfortunately, we didn't have that opportunity.
Man, that is absolutely. Well, you ever been a part of anything close to that?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. And it's a learning experience for everyone. And I'm disappointed that we didn't have a say, and a lot of people are disappointed that the MIA didn't include Newburyport in that reversal decision.
Yeah, I can tell. Just when it first happened, I remember talking to you, and I can tell this one in particular stings a little bit. Just for obvious reasons, but I can tell it gets at you a little bit more.
Yeah, this wasn't a sore loser. We're gonna go to court to that wasn't what this was about. This was about it was not really on the up and up in our eyes, and it's not fair to our girls. It's not fair to our team, and we're gonna defend our team.
Yeah, well, I think you guys did a very good thing with that. In all, though, I mean, the spring's, just to bring it home, the spring sports season has been another just amazing one for you guys. I mean, to have those conversations obviously suck, but you're arguing about semifinals in the state tournaments. I mean, what fairly decent arguments to have to be in those positions, those stressful points, is pretty great year after year, isn't it?
It is. 4 Cape Ann League championships again, and one team plays in a state championship. The other was literally points away from playing and defending their state championship.
Yeah.
But right across the board, we had a huge success for our spring, and again, coaches and athletes and senior leadership, main reasons.
Well, good stuff. Well, good stuff all around by the Newburyport kids and to the tennis girls. Great season, obviously. It's I know a lot of people were rooting for that court case to come out differently, but I mean, yeah, I think they probably gained a lot of respect for how they handled it too, because it seemed to be a lot of class on their end. So,
yeah, and like I've said several times since then, this is 0 against Pembroke.
Yeah.
They were great, and I'm really happy that they won. This was more about MIAA in the process. Yes.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and so it's certainly a wild one. What do you do for the summer now? Is the school stuff over here or what?
Well, I met with coaches, fall coaches, this week.
Already, okay.
And we're 2 months away, so it's our winter schedules are done.
It's probably a weird time too, because everybody does kind of go away for a little bit, right?
Our teacher coaches are not in the building every day. They are still around the weight room, on the fields.
Sure.
It's not every day like it is.
Yep.
But they're 2 months away, which is really, really close. So they've already met with their incoming freshmen with the 8th grade class this year, and schedules are done for the fall, schedules are done for the winter, so we just have a little bit of a break with no games at night and afternoon, but we just kind of turn the page and flip to the fall.
There you go. As you do every year. What do you do? What do you take for Kyle time? You go. You get any lake trips or golf trips or anything like that? What do you do?
Well, it's all about my kids. I spent Father's Day. We had 5 games. 3 softball and 2 baseball.
Nothing better.
And that's the way the summer's going to go.
All right. Very good, very good. Well, you have yourself a great summer, my man, and a great season again all around. It's been fun watching all these Newburyport teams have great success again.
Thank you for your support.
Awesome, man. Thank you to May Power producing the show today, and Sarah Hayden, the boss here as well, Maya Gassman, Ryan Rothberg in the house as well. Kyle Hodsdon wrapping up a great year again for Newburyport Athletics, and I think we'll probably pick it back up in the fall, and I guess that'll be here before we know it, right? Enjoy your summer, but fall sports will be here before we know it. So have a great one, everybody. We'll see you soon live at Drew's house. Peace.